If you have a people-pleasing part, you then have an angry part. And the reason for this is because the mind works in polarization. So essentially, you can think about your mind in like a spectrum, right? And so with each part, we have one side that's on this extreme and another side on this extreme, and usually they're in some type of opposite. So people pleasing and anger are opposites because people pleasing is the lack of boundaries and anger is the establishment of boundaries. And the more strong your people pleasing part is, the stronger your angry part will be, because that's the way that polarization works in the mind, is that if we go too far this way, we'll go too far the other way. So, however strong your people pleasing part is, that's how strong your angry part is. And the reason for this is because the mind needs balance. So, things exist for a reason, right? So, people pleasing exists for a reason, anger exists for a reason. But whenever we have too much of an extreme on one part, we'll have to have the other side in order to create the balance. You can think about it as almost like a scale. And so you might be thinking, well, I am people pleasing and I don't get angry at people. Well, typically what happens here is actually you have internalized anger. So often you'll be angry at yourself. And that can show up as criticism, that can show up as self blame, that can show up as health problems. So a lot of our internalized anger can look like psychosomatic issues. So IBS, things like that, almost like feeling like anxious all the time and you don't know why because you have like internalized anger. And so a lot of people don't understand this and they kind of wish that they could keep people pleasing forever because they feel like it's an effective tactic to live life, or they like this is all they know. But you can't actually get rid of the angry part without getting rid of the people pleasing part. And I guess getting rid of is a bad way to say it. What I mean is that you essentially need to meet in the middle. So the only way to get rid of a polarization is to integrate the parts together. And the way you can think about this is it's like you have two business people having a negotiation. Is like the people pleasing part needs something and the angry part needs something, and they probably need opposite things. So you're going to have to make some type of compromise. And that's what we call integration. So the idea is that oftentimes you feel like you're just swinging back and forth all the time and you don't have a lot of control over your behavior even maybe, is because you lack integration between these parts, and essentially one part takes over, then the other part takes over, and you feel like exhausted from all this swinging. But the way to improve it is to integrate. And then you might be thinking like, well, how do I integrate? Well, the idea here is to understand what each part wants. So the people pleasing part wants to be liked, it wants to reduce danger. The angry part wants to meet your needs and to set boundaries so that people don't take advantage of you. And so understanding that each part has a really important purpose and understanding how to integrate that is going to be crucial. And so when you have the urge to people please, kind of understand like, okay, what will the angry part think of this? And then when you have the urge to be angry, what will the people pleasing part think of this? So always kind of like integrating the both of them and viewing each situation from both sides. Because what often happens for us is that we like to try to pretend that one of these parts doesn't exist. Usually there's like a favorite child part and then there's like a not favorite child part, where it's like one of them like is more like accepted in the society or accepted by you, and you kind of wish that it's usually the angry part you wish didn't exist, but you can't get rid of it without integrating the people pleasing part. And so if you want to reduce anger, this is what you need to do. You need to essentially learn to meet your needs in a more healthy and effective way, so that you don't need to move into that anger part, because the anger part thinks that it's coming in and helping you protect yourself from that overly people pleasing part.